I want to thank everybody for coming. You're here today to support something that I believe in, which is service to country. Here we have Captain Leo Goff, retired naval officer, who was my commanding officer in 2007 when I came out. He's also the man that I delivered my coming out letter to. And I've retold the story of the brief conversation that happened that morning hundreds of times to hundreds of people. In fact, I've even shared the letter itself online, and it's been viewed about 20,000 times. What I've only told a few people, however, is what Captain Goff told me just before he dismissed me from his office. He told me he believed I was a fine sailor and one of the best MCs he'd ever worked with. Then he said if I was going to leave the Navy, that I ought to take those skills and work to get Don't Ask, Don't Tell repealed. And it was kind of a bittersweet moment of encouragement. We've kept in touch over the last 4 years, connected by this one strange conversation, and when it became clear to me that I would someday be able to return to the Navy, I realized Captain Goff was within driving distance, and I couldn't think of a more fitting person to administer the oath. So call it healing, call it closing the circle. There's something poetic and appropriate in it, and I'm honored to have him here. Nearby, just a few miles from here, is the Francis Scott Key Bridge. And we're all here right now at Fort McHenry because I was born a sailor's son. In fact, I was born the son of a sailor. My father was stationed in Charleston, South Carolina at the time I was born, aboard SSBN 657, USS Francis Scott Key, submarine. And this is something that was given to me by the crew when I was born, and it actually says just my name, the date I was born, and FS Key. And it's one of the few things that I've kind of kept close at hand as I've gone from duty assignment to duty assignment in my Navy career, because it's something just a little bit sentimental. And it kind of felt like that meant that the Navy is where I belong. And it also just so happens that Captain Goff is a submarine officer. So thank you for doing this. I don't think I could have planned this moment better if I had tried, and to each of you, you're here supporting my return to the Navy after I gave it up 4.5 years ago. You know my passion for it. You've shared my belief of how wrong Don't Ask, Don't Tell was as a law, especially for so many who dedicated their lives in service to their country. And there are many people, too many, to thank here today for helping me to get here. I'm only one man, once again becoming part of a uniformed family, one that I love, and one that helped me to become a man who wasn't afraid to tell his story and to take a stand for those who can't speak for themselves. So now I'm part of a generation of soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines who have slowly come out on local television, on social media, on YouTube, and in the national media, and they've even taken to the streets in protest. I stuck with the internet, but men like Dan Choi stood at the gates of the White House and demanded to be heard. Marine Sergeant Eric Alba, the first Marine wounded in Iraq after 9/11, is a living testament to the sacrifice LGBT members are willing to make. And he continues to serve by traveling all over the country and speaking about what it means to be gay and serve. Margaret Witt, Greta Kammermeyer, Victor Fehrenbach, and others who challenged their unfair discharges show the leadership the military instills in us, the obligation to do what is right in whatever we feel we can succeed, in whatever way, and contribute to making our country a better place. Don't Ask, Don't Tell is gone, and that is truly amazing, but the fight to do what is right is far from over. As one of many gay and lesbian service members who may now serve proudly in uniform, I'm obligated to set the example for those who will follow in my footsteps. And together with others who will eventually choose to serve open and honestly, we must prove that with time, sweat, tears, bravery, and teamwork, it does get better. We are defenders of the land of the free in name and in spirit. We know what it means to love freedom, and we know the burning desire to see it thrive for all Americans. Taking the oath in a post Don't Ask, Don't Tell world is a first step. Francis Scott Key wrote the defense of Fort McHenry, which later became the words of the national anthem. We all know the first verse, and though I'm not a deeply religious man, I find the final verse moving and appropriate. Oh, thus it be ever when freemen shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation. Blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us as a nation. Then conquer we must when our cause is just, and this be our motto, in God is our trust. And the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. The cause of repeal was just and right. And victory was inevitable because despite hard times, this is America, and we are free, and we are brave. And as a last and very important note, I want to thank NCO1 Gary Harder, who began working with me a year ago to make this happen. We've had more stops and starts than a 15-year-old driving a manual transmission. But finally, we're here. So thank you, NCO1, for going above and beyond to make this happen.
And the thing that really struck me more than anything, especially with regard to the policy, and Jeremy said it well. You know, he said that I can no longer lie about it. He said, you know, you, meaning me, have instilled in us honor, courage, and commitment, and the importance of being honorable and not lying. And it just struck me as, you know, how can we do this to our patriots that, you know, ask them to live this life of lies? And so it became clear to me why Jeremy had to get out. And I rued the day because he was such a good MC1. He and I worked on putting the ship's word out, and his website is still there, even though it doesn't get updated. You can go look at it. But he really got what was necessary to build morale of the ship and make sure that the taxpayer knew what their taxes were going to. And it was a sad day for me. It was really, really sad. One of the hardest days in my career of seeing Jeremy go, because I knew once the paper went in, it was out of my hands. There's nothing I could do about it. And the other amazing thing was that how quickly it happened. You know, Jeremy was gone in a matter of 2 or 3 weeks, whereas sometimes when you have a bad actor, it takes months and months and months to get them processed out. So I'm glad that you asked me to be a part of this. And so, without further ado, we'll do it.